very humble beginning.
It was humble, but it was only the beginning. And as I always said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
This kind of thing only happened to other people you saw on TV. But I checked again, and it was true. I was rich. I had more money than I ever dreamed I would. I wasn't gonna go without anymore. Those houses I used to dream about, well, now I owned one.
He bought this mansion, and it was like a kid's dream. It was upstairs, downstairs, pool, jacuzzi, pool table, and then he put an arcade game system in it. And he had the surround sound TV in every room. You could watch TV in the kitchen if you wanted to, and it was spacious. I mean, it was a nice house.
The money changed my life, but I wasn't gonna let it change me. Change who I was.
I think I called him one day and he said he was cooking at his house. I said, "What you cooking?" He said, "Some neck bones." I said, "Oh my goodness." That man cooking neck bones with the money he got? That was just him though.
After seeing Abraham's story on the news, a light bulb went off in my head.
Dee Dee comes up with this idea. She's going to write a book about Abraham's life and wants to have him tell her his story.
Now here was a guy that went from nothing to having it all. That's the story I could use to inspire people. A real-life miracle story.
Abraham met Dee Dee through a mutual friend. In fact, a mutual realtor, the lady who sold him his house.
Money makes a man real popular real fast. And after I got rich, I had all kinds of people coming around and wanting to meet me. But when Dee Dee came at me with her book idea, that was something different. She wasn't just interested in my money. She was interested in me.
Dee Dee made friends so easy. She was a networker. She was a connector. And so for her to make the connection she did was no surprise.
She would ask him about his life, how he got where he's at. What was it like growing up a child in his day and time?
Little by little, Abe and I got to know each other. And maybe it didn't seem like it, but we had a lot in common.
Dee Dee and Abraham came from the same humble beginning. In Dee Dee's mind, the lowest on the top.
Finally figured it out. He'd fallen for everything. The book I was never going to write, the friendship that would only last as long as the money did. He fell for all of it.
But now it was time for a little payback. Dee Dee said she'd meet me at one of her rental properties and straighten it all out. We'll see about that.
Based on our investigation, we believe on the night of April 6th of 2009, Abe and Dee Dee, they were going to meet. Where's my money? No, you're not. Hold my money right now. I'm going to tell you my money.
And that's when I told Dee Dee I knew what she...
Underneath the slab, we found the body of Abraham Shakespeare.
It saddened me to know that my good friend was now gone. A life taken, cut so short. For what?
Dee Dee's motive for killing Abraham was greed. She wanted
the missing persons case for about 3 weeks. We felt pretty confident that the shooting was related.
As we excavated the crime scene, we found the remains of a deceased human. From those remains, subsequently, we were able to determine that they died from firearm wound to the head.
The worst part about this crime is that it was done with someone that she thought was her best friend.
My whole life, I never really fit into any one clique. I was friends with anyone, and I trusted everyone. But sometimes, trusting someone can become the biggest mistake of your life.
I always loved sharing the spotlight with my friends. But the trouble is, even under the brightest lights, you still can't see everyone's dark side.
I think the story is about kids who don't know how to handle their emotions and their circumstances and get carried away in some sort of fantasy world.
From the outside, it was really easy to see that there was something not completely right, but from the inside, it was hard to see that there was something off about it.
In the end, we couldn't have been further apart. But in the beginning, we had an instant connection that made us the best of friends.
Redlands was a very quiet town. You couldn't really go anywhere in town without running into somebody you knew.
It's this little tiny town between Palm Springs and Los Angeles, and it's this little oasis. You know, a lot of families brought their kids to Redlands so they would have this sort of squeaky clean growing up. You know, they're very into community. A lot of them go to church on Saturday and Sunday.
I grew up an only child in Redlands. My parents adopted me when I was just 4 days old, and I was pretty much their little angel ever since.
Kinsey was adopted. That was never a secret. They celebrated her birthday and they celebrated her gotcha day, which is the day that her parents got her.
I didn't get the sense that Kinsey was bothered by being adopted. She had a very close relationship with her parents.
My parents taught me to be confident and to seize the day, every day. I was just go, 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 all the time.
Kinsey was kind, caring, and fun. She always looked out for the people that didn't fit in. Kinsey always wanted to make a difference, and people looked to her, and she got involved in things.
Oh, God. She staged a protest because she didn't want the school to be serving meat in the cafeterias. Like, she was a total animal activist. Murder. She did a hunger strike at the school, so you could tell, like, she was very ambitious and very well-aware kid.
That's right. I cared about real-life things, not football and prom queens.
They need to feel like they are part of a group in order to feel like they can be accepted.
In high school, Kinsey started the Rev Flag Club, which was kind of like an offshoot of P-Flag, which is parents and friends of lesbians and gays. I think Rev Flag Club was more of a safe place for people to talk. I think she saw a need for it.
Even though I wasn't gay, I knew it was an important issue and something that got a lot of attention in our conservative little town.
A lot of the students, they were upset that there was like a gay and lesbian club, and they were protesting, but she was like, you know, I don't care. They'd have booths in the middle of the school, and she'd hand out pamphlets and everything.
And that's how I met Kelly Bullwinkle.
She was so cute. This little bundle of a girl who had intense red hair, and she was much more alternative and artistic. Very eccentric, very unique.
Kelly's personality was very intense. She was not subtle about anything that she felt. She was very passionate.
I was new to Redlands, definitely not mainstream, and definitely looking for a connection with someone. So when I came across the Rev Flag table in the hall, I was psyched.
Hey, you're the new girl, right? Yes. Me too. Yeah. But it's a good thing. You have like a really awesome sense of style and everything.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I try. Kelly had identified herself as bisexual. Her mom had a life partner, so that was kind of a lifestyle that she was really used to, and she probably did identify herself with that, and she felt comfortable going to the P-Fly groups.
We moved around a lot because my mom was in the Coast Guard, so I was used to being the quote-unquote weird new girl, and I owned it.
Kelly was a really outgoing person. She was ready to meet new people.
I remember Kinsey bringing Kelly to our group at lunch in the quad, introducing us to her, and I felt that she was a very nice girl. She was very warm, and so we were all excited to meet her.
Kelly totally wore her heart on her sleeve. I mean, if she was happy, she would wear brightly colored, fun things, and if she was depressed, she would wear all black and mess up her hair and not do her makeup. And she was not afraid to be strange and stand out from other people.
I was used to standing out. I mean, people were already looking at the new girl in school. So I figured I might as well go all out.
She would like piece together her own outfits, whether it was holding clothing together by safety pins